Welcome to yet another video, guys. As the transfer window kind of starts to wind down now with around 6-7 days left for teams to kind of do their business. Another departure from Red Star. Miloš Degenek has left the club for Columbus Crew in the USA or the MLS, Major Soccer League. And bittersweet for Milos. He's been at the club for a long period of time. He's had 2 stints with the club. What a lot of fans will never forget is the 2 assists that he had against Red Bull Salzburg in Champions League qualifying. This was like 2018, I think, 19 year. And, you know, the running joke is still that him and Ben haven't really admitted who scored the second goal because it was kind of disputable. It looked like Degenek got a touch on it, or it was a straight free kick from Ben. We don't really know, but I think that's for a lot of Red Star fans, that's kind of what we're going to go back to when we talk about Miloš Degenek's time at Red Star. At the time, the match finished 2-2 and Red Star was off to the Champions League for the first time in a very long time, and he played a pivotal part in scoring that goal or assisting it, whatever the case may have been. But he was a mainstay in the back line for Red Star for a number of years. He's probably one of the better players in that first season with Red Star. Look, going to Columbus Crew is going to be a good opportunity for him. He wouldn't come to Columbus if he wasn't guaranteed some kind of shot to start every match, because playing for the Australian national team, which he's represented around 35 times, Australia is prepping to... They're still in the fight to make the World Cup in Qatar. And obviously they want players who are in form, players who are playing for their club teams. And I think Milos just wants a shot at getting some consistent playing time, and he wasn't getting that Red Star with Alexander Dragovic there, as well as Strahinja Rakovic, who's getting better and better, and Bankov, who is kind of like the alternate center back for Red Star. Look, he's a no-nonsense defender. If he feels that there's pressure on him, and the best thing for him to do is to get rid of the ball, clear it out for a throw-in, that's what he's going to do. He doesn't really like to mess around with it at the back. Like, I know a lot of defenders, think they're Ronaldo and Messi and will try to deke out the opposing players. He's simply not like that. If he feels pressure, he will get rid of the ball, and he's no-nonsense defender. Not afraid to go in for a hard tackle, and I think that's something that a lot of folks who have followed Red Star throughout his time there will tell you. He's really not afraid to make a hard tackle. His timing is really good on those tackles. Of course, every player has 2 or 3 times where they do miss and they cause either a penalty or foul. That's just a part of the game, but his timing is actually very good. One thing I'll say is he gets a lot of deflections. It's very interesting. It feels like whenever there's some kind of shot on net, he is always the first one there with his hands behind his back, just to make sure that there's no ball to hand to ball, whatever you want to call it. He does get quite a bit of deflections, and I noticed that even in his first stint with Red Star, he just feels like he's always there. You would think that he's like this guy who weighs 300 pounds, the way that he's always in the way, but he has exceptional timing for things like that, and he's very aware of when a player is going to go for a shot, or when he's going to deke, or whatever the case may be. Aerial duels, he's also pretty good at. It's not really his forte, I wouldn't say. A couple of seasons back, he was paired up with Nemanja Milunovic, who was much better. That was his bread and butter, and he scored a lot of goals in that season, off set pieces. But like I said, it's not Milos's strength, I wouldn't say, but he is very good, and his timing again is impeccable when it does come to things like that. So he can do well in that segment of the game. It's not his strength. Don't expect him to score a ton of headed goals. 1 or 2 is okay, but don't expect a ton. A main point that should be mentioned, he's a champion. He's won 3 titles with Red Star. I've spoken about the international careers that he's had with Australia. 3 titles in a row isn't a little feat. He's had around 25 matches in the Champions League and Europa League. Again, not a small feat. when you consider that he did play for Red Star Belgrade, a team that has to qualify for Europa League, Champions League, almost from the first round. I think now we've improved our ranking to the point that it's from like the second or third round. But he does have a lot of experience, a lot of qualifying matches where he's grown as a player, a lot of big matches, even as a Red Star player in the Champions League and Europa League. We talk about Liverpool and then Tottenham and then Bayern Munich and Napoli and all these teams that he's played. So he does have excellent experience in that part. I should also mention he's a center back, like that's his main position. He has been known to play defensive midfield. I can't off the top of my head, and I try to look at some stats. I don't think he's played that position for Red Star. Maybe at Al-Hilal, where he was between his two tenures at Red Star. I think he played some matches there as a defensive midfielder, but for Red Star, it's been like 95% center back, and he's also capable of filling in at left back and right back. He's not exactly the fastest player, so he can fill in at those positions, but don't expect him to burn any players. And he does have other players are capable of burning him actually on those when he does play either left back or right back. But his positioning at times is really good, so it's even tougher for speedsters to kind of get by him. Also, I thought I should mention that just so you kind of know where his bread and butter is in terms of like his positioning. So like I said, center back is, I don't know what the deal is with Columbus Crew. I haven't really followed them, I apologize, but he's a center back, but like I said, he can play central defensive midfielder, and he is a center back for Australia as well. So just thought I'd mention that as well. I just hope that, one of the last memories that, we kind of had of Milos was picking up a straight red against Midtjylland, and I hope that's not what fans remember him by, because that's really not who he was. He just mistimed the ball, and as the last man, he brought down the forward, and it's a straight red. There's no discussion about that. And the last thing I'd like to mention is he's I would say one of the fan favorites in the last 4 or 5 seasons since Red Star's been a participant in the Europa League, Champions League. One of the fan favorites after probably Milan Borjan, maybe Ivanic Katayben. Like he's up in that group. Fans absolutely love him. I'm a huge fan of his. I know that he's going to do very well for Columbus, and I wish him the best of luck. He spent a lot of good years with Red Star, and like I said, I just wish him the best of luck in his next journey. And like I said again, should be a starter for the team. He's kind of looking to get some playing time before Australia, if they make it to the World Cup. I think that they will, and he's just looking to kind of stay informed, because obviously he wants to help his national team make it there and ultimately play at a World Cup. So all in all, I think a really good signing for Columbus Crew, a guy who brings a lot of leadership on the international level. He's almost like a captain without being a captain. He's very vocal, and obviously he speaks the language, being from Australia, so there's no real language barriers there. But yeah, like a captain without the captain's armband, so to say. So best of luck to him in Columbus, and the best of luck to Columbus in the upcoming MLS season.